The Bank Board of Bureau (BBB) was set up in 2016 as a non-statutory body to recommend the names of the whole-time directors and the non-executive chairman of the nationalized banks, public sector insurance companies, and selected financial institutions such as the Exim Bank, SIDBI, NHB, NABARD, IIFCL, and IFCI. Selected financial institutions such as the Exim Bank, SIDBI, NHB, NABARD, IIFCL, and IFCI. However, last year the BBB was declared an incompetent authority by the Delhi High Court. To end this logjam, the BBB had to be struck down and a new body, namely the Financial Services Institutions Bureau (FSIB), had to be put in place. Establishment of the FSIB, Financial Services Institutions Bureau, set up under the Department of Financial Services, the Ministry of Finance. Functions: recommends persons for appointment as the whole-time directors and the non-executive chairpersons on the boards of directors in the public sector banks, public sector insurance companies, and selected financial institutions such as NABARD, NHB, SIDBI, Exim Bank, IFCI, IIFCL, etc. Advises the government on the matters relating to appointments, transfer or extension of term of office, and termination of services of the said directors. Is FSIB a statutory body? Is FSIB a statutory body? No. It is a non-statutory body since it has not been set up through an act of the Parliament. The World Economic Forum publishes the Global Gender Gap Index. The World Economic Forum publishes the Global Gender Gap Index. It measures the gender gap between men and women across 4 fundamental categories. Sub-indexes are economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, political empowerment. Voting age was reduced from 21 years to 18 years by the Constitution 61st Amendment Act 1988. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha has the power of automatic suspension of a member as per the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Lok Sabha, whereas the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Council of States empowers the chairman of the Rajya Sabha for the withdrawal of the members, suspension of the members, and also to adjourn the council or suspend its sitting. The Hasdeo Aranya. Aranya means forest. Lies in the catchment area of the Hasdeo river and is spread across 1878 square kilometers in the north central Chhattisgarh. The Hasdeo river is a tributary of the Mahanadi river, which originates in Chhattisgarh and flows through Odisha into the Bay of Bengal. The Hasdeo forests are also the catchment area for the Hasdeo Bango Dam, built across the Hasdeo river, which irrigates 6 lakh acres of land, crucial to a state with paddy as its main crop. Besides, the forests are ecologically sensitive due to the rich biodiversity they offer and due to the presence of a large migratory corridor for elephants. The Ramsar Convention uses a broad definition of wetlands. It includes all lakes and rivers, underground aquifers, swamps and marshes, wet grasslands, peatlands, oases, estuaries, deltas and tidal flats, mangroves and other coastal areas, coral reefs, and all human-made sites such as fish ponds, rice paddies, reservoirs and salt pans. Under the 3 pillars of the convention, the contracting parties commit to work towards the wise use of all their wetlands, designate suitable wetlands for the list of wetlands of international importance, the Ramsar list, and ensure their effective management and cooperate internationally on transboundary wetlands, shared wetlands and shared species. The convention defines wise use of wetlands as the maintenance of their ecological character achieved through the implementation of ecosystem approaches. Within the context of sustainable development, wise use can thus be seen as the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands and all the services they provide for the benefit of the people and the nature, for the benefit of the people and the nature. The Kanganahalli Buddhist site was excavated by the Archaeological Survey of India during 1994 to 2001. However, it was left neglected for around 20 years. This is an ancient Buddhist site situated on the banks of river Bhima near Kanganahalli in Kalaburgi district in Karnataka. Revamped Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan. The approved scheme of RGSA will help more than 2.78 lakh rural local bodies including traditional bodies across the country to develop governance capabilities to deliver on SDGs through inclusive local governance with a focus on optimum utilization of available resources. Nari Adalat, a new component for providing women with an alternate grievance redressal mechanism for resolving cases of petty nature, harassment, subversion, curtailment of rights or entitlements faced by women at Gram Panchayat level will be implemented in a phased manner. Nari Adalats or women collectives will be formed of committed and socially respected women chosen for that purpose. This platform will also be utilized for engaging with the public for awareness generation and getting feedback for improvement in the schemes and for effective public delivery of services. The term of the office of the Vice President, Article 67. The term of the office of the Vice President, Article 67. The Vice President shall hold office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office unless the Vice President by writing under his hand addressed to the President resigns his office. The Vice President is removed from his office by a resolution of the Council of States passed by a majority of all the then members of the Council and agreed to by the House of the People. The Vice President shall, notwithstanding the expiration of his term, continue to hold the office until his successor enters upon his office. No resolution for the purpose of removal from the office shall be moved unless at least 14 days notice has been given of the intention to move the resolution. The Santal revolt. After getting political and economic control of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, because of victory in the Battle of Buxar, the East India Company imposed permanent settlement there, Lord Cornwallis, permanent settlement. They invited many Santals to settle in a specific forest area, Damin-i-Koh, in the Rajmahal Hills, Jharkhand, but the Santals were exploited by the Jamindars and the English police. In June 1855, two Santal leaders, Sidhu and Kanhu, declared rebellion against the East India Company. Farmers, villagers and women took wide participation. They fought the police, damaged communication systems and used guerrilla warfare. The British used the martial law to curb the rebellion and were successful by January 1856. Champaran Satyagraha. In Champaran district of Bihar, the European forced the cultivators to grow indigo, a blue dye, and this imposed on them untold sufferings. They could not grow the food they needed, nor did they receive adequate payment for the indigo. The Champaran Satyagraha. In Bihar, farmer Rajkumar Shukla pledged Mahatma Gandhi to visit and personally investigate the matter. Gandhi visited Champaran with Rajkumar Shukla. The magistrate ordered Gandhi not to stay in Champaran. He was later summoned but released. Gandhi investigated the matter through cross-examination of about 8,000 cultivators. Gandhi concluded that the ignorance of the cultivators was the main reason why it was possible for the European planters to repress them. Gandhi therefore set up voluntary organizations to improve the economic and educational conditions of the people. The British government realized Gandhi's strength and his devotion to the cause. They themselves then set up a committee to inquire into the grievance of the cultivators. They invited Gandhi to serve on that committee and he agreed. The result was within months the Champaran Agrarian Bill 1917 was passed. It gave great relief to the cultivators and the land tenants. Konark Temple, Sun Temple at Konark, located on the eastern shores of the Indian state of Odisha. The Sun Temple is an exceptional testimony in a physical form to the 13th century Hindu kingdom of Orissa under the reign of Narasimhadeva I, 1238 AD to 1264 AD of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. Belongs to the cult of Surya, the sun god. Thus it is directly and materially linked to Brahmanism and the Tantric belief system. Built in the Kalingan temple architecture with all its defining elements in complete and perfect form. A chariot of the sun god and with 12 pairs of wheels drawn by seven horses, evoking its movement across heavens. It is embellished with sophisticated and refined iconographical depictions of contemporary life and activities. The Ramsar Convention is also called the Convention on Wetlands. India has added 5 new Ramsar wetland sites of international importance. With the latest addition, the number of Ramsar sites in India has reached 54. New Ramsar sites include the Pallikaranai Marsh Reserve Forest, Tamil Nadu, the Karikili Bird Sanctuary, Tamil Nadu, Pichavaram Mangrove, Tamil Nadu, Peta Wetlands, Mizoram, Pala Wetlands, Mizoram. Sakya Madhya Pradesh. This lake is an integral part of the Mahadev National Park in Shivpuri, Madhya Pradesh. The Ramsar Convention was established by UNESCO in 1971. It is an intergovernmental environmental treaty named after Ramsar city in Iran because it was signed there. The convention came into effect in 1975. It encourages the international cooperation and national action to conserve the wetlands and sustainably use their resources. Under it, the wetlands of international importance are identified worldwide. About the national emblem, adopted as the state emblem of India on 26 January 1950, based in Sarnath Buddhist complex in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. The motto on the emblem, Satyameva Jayate, truth alone triumphs, from Mundaka Upanishad as a part of the Upanishads. The emblem forms a part of the official letterhead of the Government of India and appears on all Indian currency along with the passport. CP Grams. The Centralized Public Grievance Redress and Monitoring System CP Grams is an online platform available to the citizens 24/7 to lodge their grievances to the public authorities on any subject related to service delivery. It is a single portal connected to all the ministries or departments of the Government of India and the states. Every ministry and state has role-based access to this system. The CP Grams is also accessible to the citizens through stand-alone mobile application downloadable through Google Play Store and mobile application integrated with Umang unified mobile application for new age governance. The CP Grams also facilitates tracking grievances through a system generated unique registration number. The 9th schedule was introduced to the Constitution by the Constitution First Amendment Act 1951. The 9th schedule provided for the protection of certain laws from being challenged in the courts to forward the agenda of equality and social development in India. In 1960, Bombay state was dissolved and split on linguistic lines into two states of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Nehru was the Prime Minister. Annexation of Goa was the process in which the Indian Republic annexed the Portuguese territories of Goa, Daman and Diu in December 1961. This was facilitated by armed action. Annexation of Sikkim was completed in 1975. The annexation was done by way of referendum. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. The Government of India took control of the Imperial Bank of India in 1955, with the Reserve Bank of India taking a 60% stake and renamed it as the State Bank of India. Nehru was the Prime Minister. In 1953, the Government of India passed the Air Corporations Act and purchased a majority stake in the carrier from Tata Sons. The Battle of Haldigatti, 1576 AD, fought between Maharana Pratap and Mansingh of Amber under the Mughal ruler Akbar. Victory for the Mughals and the Amber rulers. After this battle, Rana Pratap continued guerrilla warfare against Akbar. His son Amar Singh fought many wars with the Mughals, but he conditionally accepted them as rulers in 1615. This was terminating end of the freedom of Mewar. His methods of guerrilla warfare were later employed by Malik Ambar of Ahmednagar and Chhatrapati Shivaji from Maharashtra. Colonel James Todd, the famous British aquarian, gave Pratap the title of the Leonidas of Rajasthan. Leonidas of Rajasthan. Article 19, Clause 1E states that all citizens have the right to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. However, under Article 19, Clause 5, the state can impose restrictions in the interest of general public or for the protection of the interest of any scheduled tribe. The theory of eminent domain empowers the government to acquire private property for public use without the owner's consent. Thus, it goes against the principle of the right to shelter. The Indus Waters Treaty was signed in 1960 between India and Pakistan with the help of the World Bank, which is also a signatory. The negotiations were the initiative of the former World Bank President Eugen Black, seen as one of the most successful international treaties. It has survived frequent tensions, including conflict, and has provided a framework for irrigation and hydropower development for more than half a century. The treaty allocates the western rivers Indus, Jhelum and Chenab to Pakistan and the eastern rivers Ravi, B, Satluj to India. At the same time, the treaty allows each country certain uses on the rivers allocated to each other. The G7 nations established the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment to assist the low and middle income nations in improving their infrastructure. The G7 leaders initially introduced the PGII in June 2021. The PGII seeks to pool resources in order to finance high quality infrastructure projects in emerging nations like India and to bolster international supply networks. The New Development Bank is a multilateral development bank established by the BRICS countries, which gave a combined share of 24% of the global GDP and 16% share in the world trade. The idea of setting up of the NDP was first conceived in 2012 during the BRICS summit in New Delhi. The agreement or establishing the NDB was signed during the BRICS summit held the Fortaleza, Brazil in 2014, and the bank started operations in 2015. The patent system in India is governed by the Patents Act 1970. The three criteria for issuing patents: it should be new, that is not be published in India or elsewhere, no prior public knowledge or public use in India. It must involve in an inventive step, technical advance in comparison to existing knowledge, plus non-obvious to a person skilled in the relevant field of technology. It should be capable of industrial application. What cannot be patented? Frivolous inventions, inventions that harm the public order or morality, health of animals, plants and humans, a method of agriculture or horticulture, traditional knowledge, computer program, inventions related to atomic energy, plants and animals, mere discovery of scientific principles. Recently, India successfully testified its indigenously developed nuclear capable Prithvi 2 missile surface to surface missile during night time as part of a user training trial from a test range of the Odisha coast. Prithvi 2 is capable of carrying 500 to 1000 kg of warheads and is powered by liquid propulsion twin engines. The state of the art missile uses advanced inertial guidance system with uh, maneuvering trajectory to hit its target. National Company Appellate Tribunal. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal was constituted under the Companies Act 2013 for hearing appeals against the orders of National Company Law Tribunals. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal is also the appellate tribunal for hearing appeals against the orders passed by NCLTs under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 IBC. NCLAT is also the appellate tribunal for hearing appeals against the orders passed by Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. NCLAT is also the appellate tribunal to hear and dispose appeals against any direction issued or decision made or order passed by the Competition Commission of India. About the government e-marketplace platform, the National Procurement Portal was set up in 2016 to provide an end-to-end online marketplace for various central and state government ministries or departments under PSUs, etc. for the procurement of goods and services in a transparent and efficient manner. As per the General Financial Rules GF for 2017, goods and services that are available on the GEM platform should be mandatory procured through the GEM eligible by us, central and state industries departments, public sector enterprises, autonomous institutions, local bodies, etc. Eligible sellers, both government and private. The GEM is not available for use by the private sector by us. Functions under the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry. The Agnipath scheme enables determined and patriotic young people to spend 4 years in the armed forces. The young person enlisting in the army will be reflected to as Agnivir under this plan. For a limited time, young people will be permitted to join the army. The majority of the 45,000 to 50,000 troops who are recruited under the new plan will exit the military in only 4 years. However, only 25% of the batch will be hired back into their respective services after 4 years for a total of 15 years. The Agnipath scheme comes under the Ministry of Defence. Varkari Sampradaya is a religious movement with the Bhakti spiritual tradition of Hinduism. It is geographically associated with the Indian states of Maharashtra and northern Karnataka. In the Marathi language of Maharashtra, Vari means pilgrimage and a pilgrim is called a Varkari. Every year, the Varkaris walk hundreds of miles to the holy town of Pandharpur, gathering there on Ekadasi, the 11th day of the Hindu lunar calendar month of Ashada, which falls sometime in July. Another pilgrimage is celebrated on the Ekadashi of the month of Kartik, which falls sometime in November. The Varkaris worship Vithoba, also known as Vittal, the presiding deity of Pandharpur. Vithoba is a form of Krishna, an avatar incarnation of Vishnu. Because of this association with Vishnu, Varkari is a branch of Vaishnavism. Jawaharlal Nehru. He was elected the president of the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress 1929, where complete independence for the country was adopted as the goal. At midnight on the New Year's Eve 1929, Nehru hosted the tricolor of India upon the banks of the river in Lahore. He, along with Srinivasa Iyengar and Subhash Chandra Bose, founded the Independence for India League in the year 1928, which put forth the demand for complete independence. This was against the demand of the Dominion states by the Nehru Report, which was led by his father Motilal Nehru. In 1942, he moved the historic Quit India resolution at the All India Congress Committee session in Bombay. On August 8, 1942, he was arrested along with other leaders and taken to Ahmednagar Fort. Question paper selection. The central bank digital currency CBDC. Digital currency backed by the central bank of a country, just like currency notes issued by the central bank. The CDBC is a legal tender and accepted for the payment of various transactions within a country. Unlike the cryptocurrencies, the CBDC is backed by the central bank and hence enjoys more amount of stability and less volatility, also called the programmable money, as it can be programmed for certain selected users or within specific regions of a country. Recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. Distribution of grants between the rural and the urban local bodies in the ratio of 67.5 is to 32.5 to all tiers in the panchayat. Village or block or district create durable community assets, improve overall functioning and provide employment opportunities. Recommend grants to all tiers of the panchayat raj. Give grants to the 5th and 6th schedule areas and the cantonment boards. Special focus on districts having higher concentration of SC or ST population. Provide tide grants to the rural local bodies, improve sanitation, ensure open defecation free status, supply of drinking water, rainwater harvesting and water recycling. Tide grants have also been allocated to the ULBs, urban local bodies, over and above the central sponsored schemes for drinking water, including rainwater harvesting and recycling and solid waste management. Differentiated the need of the larger cities by categorizing 50 million plus cities. Provided additional funds to the ULBs for issues critical for planned urbanization, problems of sanitation, air quality, groundwater depletion, supply and management of water and efficient solid management. PM Divine, Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeast. A new scheme, PM Divine, was announced while presenting the Union Budget 2022 to 2023. The Finance Minister stated that the PM Divine will be implemented through the Northeast Council. However, it will not be a substitute for the existing central or state schemes. Initial list of the projects under PM Divine. Establishment of dedicated services for the management of pediatric and adult hematologic cancers in northeastern India, Guwahati multi-state. Nectar Livelihood Improvement Project. Okay. The Hoysala temple architecture. A cuboid cell Garbhagruha sanctorium houses a centrally placed Murti enshrined icon on a Pita pedestal. Pita, P-I-T-H-A-S, Pita, okay. Shikara superstructure rises over the Garbhagruha and together with the sanctum they form the Vimana, Mula Prasad of a temple. A ribbed stone Amalaka is placed atop the Shikara with a Kalash as its finial. So, as intermediate Antarala joins the Garbhagriha to an expansive pillared mandapa in front, chiefly facing east or north. The temple may be approached via entrances with gigantic gopurams, ornate entrance towers towering over each doorway. In the Prakaram temple courtyard, several minor shrines and outbuildings often abound. The Vimanas are either stellate, semi-stellate, or orthogonal in plan. The intricately carved banded plinths, a distinguishing characteristics of the Hoysala temples, comprise a series of horizontal courses that run as rectangular strips with narrow recesses between them. The temples are sometimes built on a raised platform or jagati, which is used for the purpose of a Pradakshinapatha. The Chalukyas are considered as the inventors and the developers of the Vesara style of architecture. The Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is the second largest wildlife sanctuary in Kerala. It is an integral part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is bounded by the Nagarhole National Park and the Bandipur National Park in Karnataka in the northeast, and the southeast by the Mudumalai National Park in Tamil Nadu. The Periyar National Park is the largest wildlife sanctuary in Kerala. Sustainable Development Goals: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work for economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. The forex reserves in India comprise of the foreign exchange assets, gold, special drawing rights, and reserve position in the International Monetary Fund. Different components of forex reserves, foreign exchange assets account for the highest share, followed by gold, SDRs, and reserve position in the IMF. Project 75. Project 75 is one of the two submarine lines, the other being P75-1I, that are a part of a 1999 approved plan for domestic submarine building using technology acquired from foreign companies. The Mazagon Dock received the contract for 6 submarines under P75 in 2005, and delivery was supposed to begin in 2012. However, there have been delays in the project. The work has been carried out with technology transfer from the Mazagon Dock Limited under the French Naval Group. INS Kalvari, INS Kanderi, INS Karanj, and INS Vela have all been given the go ahead under P75. An estimated cost of 43,000 crores. This project calls for the domestic manufacturing of submarines fitted with the most advanced air independent propulsion technology. Rakhigari is one of the 5 biggest townships of the Harappan civilization located in Rakhigari, Hisar in Haryana. According to the archaeologist, it is the largest site in terms of area among the Indus Valley civilization sites. The four are Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Ganveri Wall in Pakistan and Dholavira in Gujarat. 5 interconnected mounds are spread in a huge area to form Rakhigari's unique site. Meenakshi Temple. Meenakshi Temple shows the highest form of the Dravidian temple architecture after the temples of the Chola dynasty in South India. The temple is located on the banks of the Vaigai River in Tamil Nadu. It is dedicated to the goddesses Meenakshi, a form of Parvati, and her consort Sundareshwar, a form of Shiva. It was built by the Pandyan Emperor Sadayavarman Kulashekaran I. The temple was rebuilt under the Vijayanagara rulers, and the temple complex was further expanded and fortified by the Nanak ruler Vishwanath Nayakar. Encyclopedia of all Hindu dancing poses mentioned in Natya Shastra are depicted both in stone and wood. It is estimated that there are million carvings. 2 Dwarapalakas or watchmen are on the doors. Yali is the most important structure art in the temple. Advanced Knowledge and Rural Technology Implementation Akruti Program. Implementation Baba Atomic Research Center, BARC, under the Department of Atomic Energy. It is an initiative for using non-power applications and spin-off technologies in water, agriculture, food processing and waste management under the Department of Atomic Energy. The use of technology in both rural and urban regions is encouraged under this program. Under the program, entrepreneurship is also promoted. The entrepreneurship also promoted. Baba Atomic Center, okay. Green hydrogen is produced through an energy intensive method of extracting hydrogen through electrolysis, the process of running current through a liquid to separate chemical compounds. The production cost is high because the scaling up of electrolysis cells is expensive. Other methods include gasification of coal or a process called steam methane reformation. However, carbon and other greenhouse gases are released in these methods of hydrogen extraction called brown, grey and blue hydrogen, making them unsustainable. India's green hydrogen policy includes waivers on interstate transmission charges for 25 years. What does this mean is that interstate transmission charges will not apply if a producer wants to set up a solar power plant in one state to power a green hydrogen plant in another. These waivers, according to the policy document, can be availed by producers who set up green hydrogen plants before July 2025. Monkeypox is a viral zoonotic disease that occurs primarily in tropical rainforest areas of Central and West Africa and is occasionally exported to other regions. An antiviral agent developed for the treatment of smallpox has also been licensed for the treatment of monkeypox. The clinical presentations of monkeypox resembles that of smallpox, a related orthopoxy virus infection which was declared eradicated worldwide in 1980. Monkeypox is less contagious than smallpox and causes less severe illness. Monkeypox typically presents clinically with fever, rash and swollen lymph nodes and may lead to a range of medical complications. Monkeypox is caused by monkeypox virus, a member of orthopoxy virus genus in the family Poxviridae. Monkeypox is usually a self-limited disease with the symptoms of lasting from 2 to 4 weeks. Severe cases can occur in recent times. The case fatality ratio has been around 3 to 6%. Monkeypox is transmitted to humans through close contact with an infected person or animal with or with a material contaminated with the virus. Monkeypox virus is transmitted from one person to another by close contact with lesions, body fluids, respiratory droplets, and contaminated materials such as bedding. Vaccines used during the smallpox eradication program also provided protection against monkeypox. Newer vaccines have been developed, of which one has been approved for prevention of monkeypox. Permanent commission has not been constituted so far. All denotified tribes. Permanent commission has not been constituted so far. All denotified tribes are not part of the scheduled caste. The scheduled tribes are other backward class categories. Denotified tribes are the communities that were notified as being born criminals during the British regime under a series of laws starting the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. These acts were repealed based on the recommendations of the Anantasayan Iyengar Committee 1949 by the Indian government in 1952, and these communities were accordingly denotified. Most denotified tribes are spread across the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, and under the other backward classes categories. However, some denotified tribes are not covered in any of the SCs, STs, or OBCs categories. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowered had notified in March 2019 to constitute the Development and Welfare Board for denotified nomadic and semi-nomadic communities, chaired by Bhikkhu Ramji Idate. Setting up of a permanent commission at the Center for the Denotified Nomadic and Semi-Nomadic Communities has been one of the recommendations of the National Commissions for Denotified. The linguistic minorities. Article 29, protection of the interest of the minorities. Any section of the citizens residing in the territory of India or any part thereof having a distinct language, script, or culture of its own shall have the right to conserve the same. No citizen shall be denied admission into any educational institution maintained by the state or receiving aid out of the state funds on grounds only of religion, race, caste, language, or any of them. Article 30. The rights of the minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. All minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. In making any law providing for the compulsory acquisition of any property of an educational institution established and administered by a minority referred to in clause 1, the state shall ensure that the amount fixed by or determined under such law for the acquisition of such property is such as would not restrict or abrogate the right guaranteed under that clause. The state shall not, in granting aid to the educational institutions, discriminate against any educational institution on the grounds that it is under the management of a minority, whether based on religion or language. About the paintings and related to works of Raja Ravi Varma. He learnt watercolor painting from the royal painter Ramaswamy Naidu and later trained in oil painting from the Dutch artist Theodore Jensen. He specialized in oil and water paintings. He focused on realized expression and skin tone. Varma combined the European realism with the Indian sensibilities. He was inspired by the Indian literature, mythology, and dance drama. He got 3 gold medals at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893. The Indian Post Payments Bank IPPB has recently announced the launch of Fincluvation to promote financial inclusion. Phygital banking, combination of the two words, that is physical and digital. Phygital, it is a form of banking and that combines the advantages of digitalization with the comfort of physical bank branch. Details about Fincluvation. Under this initiative, the startups are invited to build technology-led solutions for instant paperless microcredit using alternate data sources, integration of digital payments with the money order services of India Post, innovative solutions for the promotion of inclusion. Financial inclusion. Pradhana Mantri Daksh Yojana to enhance the skill set of the youth in the age group 18 to 45 years. Target beneficiaries: scheduled caste, other backward classes, economically backward classes, denotified tribes, and Safai Karamcharis, including waste pickers. Time period implemented over the period 22 to 26. Implemented by the National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation, the National Backward Classes Finance and Development Corporation, the National Safai Karamcharis Finance and Development Corporation. Nodal Ministry, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Details about Atal Innovation Mission, launched 2016. Objective: to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in the country. Implemented by Niti Aayog. Important programs: Atal Tinkering Labs, Atal Incubation Centers, Atal New India Challenge, Atal Community Innovation, Applied Research and Innovation for Small and Medium Enterprises Arise. Atal Tinkering Labs, to create a problem solving mindset in the school going students. Atal Incubation Center, support the startups in terms of labs and mentoring. Atal New India Challenge supports innovations based on advanced technologies in the areas of national importance and social relevance. Atal Community Innovation Center promotes innovation of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Arise promotes innovations and research in the MSMEs, the micro, small and medium enterprises. Atal Tinkering Labs, creative mindset, tinkering mindsets. Centers, it's labs and mentoring. Incubation centers, labs and mentoring. The British government implemented the Roytwari land revenue system in the Bombay Deccan region. The revenue was so high under this system that the farmers were unable to pay it. If farmers do not pay, the British government will take immediate action against them. Farmers borrowed money from moneylenders to pay the land revenue on interest. Generally, moneylenders charged higher interest rates to farmers who could not afford